Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, if you're a business owner, you're going to want to watch this next segment because it's about how to save money on your electric bill. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, with all the uncertainty in the market, we know that fuel prices are going up. What about electric costs this summer? And we know what happened with the electric grid a couple of winters ago. Is the electric grid in Texas up to the challenge of all those people putting on the AC? To talk about that today, Saint Clair Newbern IV. He is with Live Energy. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us your journey first.
Well, back in 2001, I was involved in another business, and it's kind of funny because we were considering buying some auto dialers, which were these really expensive computer systems that cost like 20 grand a piece, and they could call people and do customer acquisition. And I wanted to have a plan B in case that didn't work, and I didn't have this useful, expensive piece of computer hardware. So I started reading that the Texas electricity market was going to be deregulated, and I thought, oh, well, that's a perfect fit. Surely they're going to need people to do customer acquisition. And so I started reaching out to retail energy providers that were getting licenses in Texas. And they all basically told me to take a hike, that they would sell their own energy. But finally, the month before the market opened, I got company Zero Energy, which many people know now, got a license, and they happened to be right across the street from where I lived at the time. So I just walked over there. And the funny thing is, I asked to see the VP of sales, and he comes out wearing black boots, jeans, and a white shirt, and I was like in black boots, jeans, and a white shirt. I'm like, oh, maybe I can talk to this guy. So we go back to his office, and an hour later, I'd convinced him that he had absolutely nothing to lose by letting me bring customers to them. And then by the end of the first year, I had the retailers that told me to take a hike were like, hey, would you mind selling our products and services too? And so that's when we became a true broker. And so the role we play is we represent the buyer, so we represent medium and large businesses who spend enough on energy that it's important for them to control costs. And we help them interface with the market. So we have relationships with all the major suppliers. So we do competitive bids, put together proposals for them to make good decisions, advise them on anything that they have questions about, negotiate contracts and that kind of thing. And then the other thing that we did, we realized that like our customers really don't want to have us call them all the time. Hey, you want to talk about energy? What they want to know is what's my price for the next, renewal term. And so we built a proprietary system that allows us to ingest all the market data, like all the wholesale trade data every day, and figure out what the price of energy should be going out 10 years into the future. And so we can deliver custom alerts to businesses that will tell them, hey, look, your contract expires in 9 months. You're currently paying 7 cents. But the market just dropped to 6. Do you want to try and lock in that savings now? So in a nutshell, that's what we do and kind of how we got here.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. We found a overview video. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
For the average energy buyer, actually buying electricity is a minefield. Pushy, uninformed salespeople can cloud your judgment and mask the pitfalls. The biggest danger is focusing too much on who, when in fact 90% of your cost is determined by timing and when you lock in your rate. The solution is Live Energy, America's most innovative energy broker, and our unique proprietary tool, the Live Energy Portal. With the help of the Live Energy Portal, our team of experts turn the average energy buyer into an energy buying superhero. For over 16 years, we've been helping businesses take advantage of the biggest benefit of energy deregulation, strategically timing when to lock in your rate. Our experts have listened and learned from you and the market and delivered the Live Energy Portal, a powerful tool guaranteed to save you time and money. Here's how it works. Let's say your 5-cent contract expires in 12 months. As a business, you have the right to lock in your next contract 12 to 18 months prior to your contract expiration. The Live Energy Portal monitors the market and automatically calculates rates for your next term as prices move up and down. You set the rate you want to pay, and the moment that rate becomes available, the Live Energy Portal will alert you via email. It's like merging your mind with the market. Determining when to take action becomes effortless. Next, our team of certified experts will go to work to determine who will give you the absolute best deal. We'll generate competitive bids from the best suppliers and present your options in an intuitive proposal that makes choosing the right supplier, rate, and term a cinch. Execute a digital contract with a few clicks and your job is done in a fraction of the time it takes to go it alone. All future contracts are procured by repeating the same simple and proven process. So no more missed opportunities, no more surprises, and no more salespeople. Just savings. We know you take your fiduciary responsibility seriously, so ask yourself, do I have complete confidence that my current process allows me to identify when to lock in? If you are at all unsure, then take 15 seconds and enroll in the Live Energy Portal today. Our process is proven. It saves time, eliminates confusion, and enables you to set and lock in the energy rate you want to pay. There's no obligation, so you have absolutely nothing to lose. It's a win-win situation.
I think that is so cool. It's almost like finding change in the couch cushions, but this is not small change, is it?
No, I mean, for what people don't realize is that we've seen prices move 100% in a 12-month window. So being that electricity prices in Texas, for example, trade pretty tightly with natural gas, you see the volatility of natural gas and you can expect electricity to follow. So it's very volatile.
What's your favorite story of a client you've helped?
So we represent one of the largest building products manufacturers in the country, and they make everything from windows to siding and anything that goes into building like houses and apartments and commercial office buildings. And so like over the past 10 years, they started at really high prices, and by making well-timed decisions, we've been able to essentially drive their costs down over 10 years. Every single contract, just catching another dip and bringing their costs down further. Now we're in a market now where prices have essentially traded sideways and down for years, and people have kind of been lulled to sleep. The market hasn't been very interesting, but like in 2020, natural gas was in the $2 range. Now we're up near $5. So if you signed a contract a couple years ago, you're probably going to be paying more for energy when you go to the market and renew your contract. So it's really important for people to get ahead of it. The one thing we can do that helps a lot is to do structure longer term contracts, because once you get out into 2024, 25, 26, price of energy is a lot cheaper. So you can bundle that in with the really expensive price of power that we've got today, and it gets you a lower price.
That reminds me of Southwest Airlines, like hedging on fuel costs, right? And sometimes if they guess right, they've saved themselves a ton.
Yeah, exactly. So what most people don't realize too is, a lot of people think that, I gotta just wait till my contract expires and then I gotta go shop the market. Like I gotta go get prices from everybody on one given day. And that's kind of like deciding that you're gonna buy Microsoft stock and you wait till one specific day of the year, and then you're trying to shop between Schwab and Goldman Sachs and Fidelity. Well, they're all selling the same, stock, so it's going to be roughly the same price. What's important is to use time. So if you knew that you were going to buy Microsoft stock and you had 1 year to do it, you'd probably watch all year and you'd look for a dip when it was low. And so that's the strategy. It's basically using time to your advantage, using the volatility to your advantage, and having an automated platform that will give you alerts. So that the day that the market drops 15% below your current price, we can automatically alert our customers. So they don't have to get a call from me. I don't have to remember who to call. It just all happens in the background.
That is so cool. Well, let's talk about Ukraine. How does that impact what you do?
So it's really crazy. The global energy markets are just going nuts right now. Europe is very heavily dependent on Russian energy, so they're dependent on Russian natural gas, Russian oil, and they've made a lot of decisions. Like, for example, Germany killed their nuke plants and shut down a lot of coal. So they're dependent on either the renewable assets, but they still need natural gas and oil, and so that's running the prices up. The prices are just exploding higher for natural gas. And it's even threatening the viability of a lot of the energy traders in Europe. They're asking for federal bailouts and things like that. And so it's not an easy problem to fix. In terms of electricity, we've basically got a domestic market for natural gas. So we're somewhat insulated as opposed to oil. That's definitely a global market. And so we're not as affected, but what they're talking about right now is trying to increase the amount of natural gas, liquefied natural gas that we can supply to Europe. So the market will reflect what it believes is going to happen in the future. So if we start to or attempt to implement policies to export more liquefied natural gas, it's going to mean tighter supplies here, and that very well could drive prices up further than they are today.
Let's talk about the Texas electric grid, because it was kind of a national embarrassment a couple of winters ago. Some changes have been made. Do you feel confident that with everybody kicking on the AC this summer, we're going to be okay?
I think so. ERCOT has made a lot of changes. They've tried to become more conservative. They used to operate less conservatively, meaning they had less of a buffer, and so now they're procuring more energy to provide a buffer so that we have plenty available, and even if certain parts of the grid get congested, or if we have generation go down, that we've got enough capacity to meet the needs of the market. There's also some really interesting new influences in the market, like the Bitcoin miners that are coming in with large loads that are able to be responsive, and so it's a very interesting time in Texas. The other thing I'll mention is that if you look at the forecast for generation over the next couple of years, you see this massive spike in new solar and batteries, that if all that actually plays out and gets built, then it looks, according to the forecast, like we should be in pretty good shape. But the price of natural gas will definitely play a big role in where prices go, and what the global decision is on how to handle the strategy, and how does it get out of control? Does it actually start to kill demand here in certain industries that would reduce demand? It's a pretty complicated, and it's definitely all interconnected.
You've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to end with your website, which is liveenergy.com, and Saint Clair Newbern IV. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.